Shalom. Going to talk about these mass shootings right now. What do they really mean? Are they really what they are portrayed as? One of my sayings that I like to continually go to and play over and over in my own head is, when in doubt, always, and I mean always, look at the timing. You know, it's one thing if you are truly a person that doesn't believe in the civilian ownership of firearms. I mean, I'm okay with you if that's what you truly feel. If you truly feel like people should be living underneath a tyranny, that mankind as a whole does not know how to guide itself, that no one is truly worthy of independence, that you should be living underneath some form of authority. If that's what you truly feel, then I have no problem with that. Everybody is due their own opinion about things. Everybody deserves that. Everybody has that God-given right. The problem I have is when you have people that think that way, and they're not just cool with it being their reality. They want this reality to be everyone else's reality as well. They want to live underneath a total authoritarian regime, a tyranny, and they want everyone else to as well. I have a problem with you when that is your mentality. Because as we know through scripture, there is no man worthy of establishing himself above another. None of us. We are all flawed creations, and the Most High acknowledges that. He does not acknowledge kings. He does not acknowledge queens. Those are all delusions of our own. As a matter of fact, when it came to the biblical Israel, the Most High's initial plan for his people was for them not to have any kings or queens. The only way we ended up with the concept of a King Saul, a King David, a King Solomon, and so on and so forth, was after the Israelites started clamoring for a king, because they wanted to emulate all of the surrounding nations. All the nations that were around them, they had kings. They had human beings that they had erected onto a pedestal and worshiped them like gods incarnate. But the original Israelites did not. They had judges. They had people that sorted out the laws and applied those laws to grievances and wrongdoings, but they did not have any one person that was established as being above everyone else. That was the surrounding nations, the nations that he told us not to be like. Yet, as all of you know who have read the Bible, we sinned. We wanted to be like those nations. And we clamored for a king. And the king is what we received. So there are people that want that. There are actually people who want to live underneath a tyranny. They want to live underneath people who have been erected over them. And that's all well and good. I'm fine with that. The only problem I have is when those people try to force that onto everyone, including myself. So when it comes to these mass shootings, as we know, it always follows a certain set of a path that it always is going to take, that we see in the mainstream media, that we see from the political representation. There's always a set path that it takes. It always goes through a predictable set of events. We're going to have the mainstream media talk about what type of weapon was used. We're going to have the politicians talk about how such and such weapons should not be in the hands of civilians. And we're going to have both of them point to the chaos and destruction as proof of their stances. This is predictable. It happens every time. But when it comes to these shootings, when it comes to what is the true purpose behind them, are they truly random events of violence and hatred? Or do they serve a ulterior motive? Are they perpetrated by individuals with seemingly limitless resources? Are they events orchestrated to create a cause to establish a desired effect? Well, when you ask yourself that question, you must go back to my mantra, if you will. When in doubt, always look at the timing. When we look at the timing, we see that the left side of the political paradigm is knee-deep in its bid for presidency. We have them debating. We have them being interviewed. We have them putting forth their ideas of what they think needs to happen in America to make it a better place for everybody. And one of the talking points that they always hit on is gun violence. And when asked about gun violence, they never fail to mention their feelings about assault weapons. How they think they should all be outlawed. How they think that they should all be confiscated. How they think that those who don't want to turn their guns in should be fined or imprisoned. Now, when you are talking something as extreme as that, when you are talking on infringing upon the rights that created this very nation, you damn well better have some evidence to back up your claims. You better have something that you can point to say, see, I told you. My idea, though it may seem extreme, is what is needed. So, here we are. 2 mass shootings within 2 weeks' time. Around the same time that we are having our Democratic debates. Around the same time when the left arm of the political system that is notorious for demanding stricter gun rights are on center stage. They now have something to talk about. They now have something to point to. It factors into their narrative. There is no such thing as a coincidence like that. There's no such thing. It does not exist. It never did. You know, sooner or later, probably far sooner than later, whoever it is that is behind these events will have to reveal itself. See, if we are in a time of revealing, that has to be outed too. That cannot be continued to be hidden. People have to know everything that is happening, the truth behind it all. Only then can we truly make an educated guess. Only then can we truly make an educated decision, choice. None of this can be hidden. There's no way these shootings are a coincidence. Their timing totally negates that possibility. But how should we as Israelites take this? Well, I said it once before in another video. We are the last people in this country that should willingly disarm ourselves, regardless of what story we're being told. We already know, those of us that are paying attention, that is, we know that the left are not our allies. We know that the people who erect means for our women to kill their newborn babies by the millions are not our allies. We know that the people who foster behavior on us, that infect us with deadly, fatal, sexually transmitted diseases, far more than any other race on this planet, are not our allies. It will be those very same people that will clamor for us to support them in their crusade to get the guns. Those same people that those of us who are wise no longer see to be our allies. That is how our stance should be. It should be the very stance that you would have when you stare down your greatest enemy. A fighting stance. Shalom.